Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mrs. Terry, and this is my teaching assistant. This is Violet. Violet, do you want to tell them about yourself? Tell them how old you are.
5.
Violet is 5, and we have some special guests who are here for us today. Violet, tell us who you brought.
I brought Moof.
This is Moof. Okay. Who else do we have?
We have Woo.
We have a wolf guest. Who else do we have?
We have Big Panda.
And we have a big panda. I bet our big panda could sit right here with us. Okay, so I really missed seeing everyone in class.
And then here is Floppy Hippo because he's really floppy.
Floppy Hippo's here too. So I really missed having everybody in class today, and I know we were right in the middle of a read aloud, so I want to continue the read aloud. And I'm thinking that Violet and I could maybe do some videos for you each day, and we can still share some activities and do some read alouds. But bear with us, we are very new to making YouTube videos. Like, this is the first try. So with that being said, we might get fancier with our backgrounds later. We might even wear costumes sometime, right? We have lots of costumes at our house. You just don't know what we're gonna do. But for today, I wanted to kind of pick up where we left off. We have been reading the book Ragweed by Avi, and this is a series, and kids can kind of explain to their parents where we are with this series. There are 6 books. We read them a little bit out of sequence. We read book 2 and then realized there was a prequel. So this is kind of the prequel. This is book 1, and it's about a mouse. We left off with chapter 14, and just to give a little bit of background on where we left off on Thursday, so Silversides, the cat, the like evil cat, was picked up by the girl, and as you know, the girl owns Blinker, the white mouse, and the girl is furious at Silversides. She thinks that Silversides maybe killed her pet mouse, and so she kicked Silversides out of the house and said, "Do not come back until you find Blinker." And Silversides was pretty mad, and Silversides wants revenge on Blinker, as you know. And then the chapter in chapter 13, it talks about how Ragweed was kind of wandering, and right as Ragweed was trying to get on a train, Ragweed noticed Silversides in the distance, and Silversides was looking at a white mouse. It was Blinker. Violet doesn't know the story, but she's going to follow along with us. And to make this as real life as possible for everyone, the kids will think this is funny. I have my water with my peach mango tea. Violet, before I can read, I need you to shake this up for me. Usually kids at school help me shake it. Don't hit me in the face. Usually kids at school help me shake this up really good. Oh, good. Let's see. Oh, it still needs shaking. You got it? Shake it. Let's see. Okay, well, I might need to pause to sip some water as I'm reading aloud. So this is gonna be a little different, guys. Normally when I'm reading aloud at school, people will say they need a Band-Aid, or they need to go to the bathroom, or I don't know. This might be less interruptions, or it might be more because of
They need to wash their hands.
Maybe because of my assistant right here. I don't really know. So just bear with us. So Ragweed, chapter 14. This chapter is called Ragweed Makes Up His Mind. As the train whistle grew louder, Silversides continued to creep forward, drawing ever nearer to the white mouse. Horrified by what was unfolding before his eyes, but not knowing what to do, Ragweed rose up on his hind legs. Silversides was too intent on the other mouse to notice him. The huge train, headlamp flashing, bells ringing, motors roaring, swept into view. Every few seconds the whistle blew its lonely tune of mournful wandering. Ragweed could see nothing but boxcars, many of which had their doors open. The train moved slower and slower, just as it had done when Ragweed was aboard. It lurched to a banging stop. Boarding would be easy. A deep longing came over Ragweed. He wanted to be home. He had been a fool to leave. Instead of hiding in the midst of garbage, he could be frolicking in the clear, bright brook with his brothers and sisters. What was Amberville to him? Nothing but dirt, danger, endless talk, and fear, F-E-A-R. He glanced toward the mound of clay. The white mouse was still oblivious to what was about to happen to him. "Hey, dude," Ragweed said, talking to himself. "Like, that's his lookout. I'm out of here." Though he said the words, he remained where he was and kept his eyes on the scene before him. Forcing himself to turn from what surely was going to be a scene of carnage, Ragweed darted toward the train. Halfway there, he halted and looked back. Silversides was crouched low. I lost my place. This happens every day in class, too. This is very lifelike. Her rump was wiggling. Her rear legs were tensed. She was preparing to pounce. Ragweed's stomach churned. His pulse quickened. It was all too ghastly. Once more, he began to move toward the train before stopping again. Could he just go and leave this strange white mouse to its terrible fate? "No," he said aloud. "I can't do it. It's too awful. Like, if I don't try to do something for that mouse, I'll never be able to live with myself." Glancing around, he saw that he had reached a spot that might enable him to distract the cat, yet still get to the train. Rising up tall, Ragweed cupped his paws around his mouth and shouted, "Hey, dudes, like, what's up?" Startled, Blinker looked around. Then, and only then, did he see Silversides. Taken by surprise, he was terrified. Silversides was equally startled by Ragweed. Her head snapped up, and she looked about to see who had called. "I'm right here, dude," Ragweed taunted, stealing a nervous glance over his shoulder to make sure his path to the train remained clear. "Remember me? The one who got away from you when I first came to town? The one who, like, popped Clutch's deck into your mouth? Remember? Yeah, you can't catch me," he jeered. Silverside suddenly seemed to understand who was calling her. Abandoning her pursuit of the white mouse, she started to move toward Ragweed. "Hey, Whitey," Ragweed shouted to the mouse. "Now's your chance. Run for it." Blinker, however, was too frightened to do anything other than blink and gape. Not so Silversides. She leaped toward Ragweed. Ragweed was ready. The instant he saw the cat coming, he spun around and dashed for the train. Even as he did, there was a sudden progression of loud bangs as mechanical couplings went taut. The train began to roll away. Unnerved, Ragweed made a desperate leap in hopes he could grab hold of a dangling coupling hose. Not only did he fall short, but the train increased its speed so rapidly he was afraid to make a second attempt. He might be crushed by the steel wheels. He had missed the train. Here's a picture of Ragweed running alongside the train. Hearing a sound behind him, he whirled just in time to see Silversides barreling down at him, yellow eyes ablaze with wrath, sequin collar glittering, pink mouth, and sharp white teeth fully exposed. "Bummer!" Ragweed cried. "She got me!" Silversides took a giant leap through the air. As the cat plunged down, Ragweed dove beneath her. His size and speed enabled him to slip under the cat, but so close did they come that Ragweed felt the cat's belly fur rub along his own back. No matter. By the time Silversides landed, Ragweed not only had passed her, but was racing madly toward the white pile. When Silversides landed, she was completely confused as to where the golden mouse had gone. She looked now this way, now that. She finally glanced behind her and caught sight of Ragweed racing away. With a yowl, she spun on the spot and tore after him. Ragweed was aiming for the white mouse. Blinker, who had observed everything that had happened with little more than numb comprehension, saw Ragweed coming. "Head for the junk pile, dude!" Ragweed screamed. All that Blinker could manage was to open his eyes wide. Ragweed reached him. Without ceremony, he grabbed one of Blinker's paws and yanked, spinning the petrified mouse around. "If you want to live, mouse!" Ragweed yelled. "Hit it!" The mouse, shocked into motion, scrambled after Ragweed. Is this too scary? You can do it. Coming right behind and gaining quickly was Silversides. "Faster!" Ragweed cried. "Faster!" It took Ragweed 7 running leaps to reach the pile. With no hesitation, he plunged into the stinking garbage, clawing desperately beneath the surface until he sank knee-deep into the trash. Turning, Turning, he saw he was safe, but the white mouse was struggling. Ragweed grabbed one of Blinker's paws and dragged him to his side. In this picture that I'm going to show you, you can see Ragweed trying to help Blinker on top of some garbage and an old shoe. From outside the pile, they heard Silversides yowling with frustration. "We're safe," Ragweed replied, "for a while." The white mouse was weak to the point of collapse. "Thank you. You saved my life. I had no idea. Who are you?" he asked. "The name's Ragweed, dude. Like, what's yours?" "Blinker." "Cool." Blinker looked around at the garbage. "Is this your nest?" he asked. "This dump? No way, dude. Actually, I don't even live in this town. Like, I'm passing through. Where are you from?" I live in the nest somewhere. Silversides lives." Ragweed was taken aback. Her nest? Now, boys and girls, remember that the mice call people's houses their nests. They're human nests. And also remember that Ragweed, now that he's been hanging out with the band, the rock and roll mice, that now he's kind of talking like the Ragweed that we knew and loved in book 2. So he says a lot of things like, "dude," and he sounds really cool. Blinker nodded mournfully. "Are you friends?" "Oh no, not at all," Blinker reassured Ragweed. "On the contrary." "Were you like running away from her?" "It's not that simple," Blinker said with a sigh. Yes. Ragweed gazed at Blinker. This was one odd mouse. "Stay here and chill," he said. "I'll go see what's happening with the car. We don't want to be surprised. Then you can tell me your story." "You won't leave me, will you?" Blinker cried. "Hey, trust me." Ragweed pushed his way through the junk. He poked his head out of the top of the heap and surveyed the scene. Silversides was sitting a few feet off, angry eyes fixed on the pile of garbage. Ragweed turned to Blinker. "I think she's going to try and wait us out, so we need to chill out for a while. Are you cool?" "I'm all right." "Okay, go ahead," Ragweed said. "You were about to tell me your story." "It's not very interesting." Ragweed shrugged. "Just tell it like it is." Blinker told his entire story, from the time the girl brought him home from the pet store to his escape. "I thought you were trying to get on the train," Ragweed said when Blinker was done. The white mouse shook his head sadly. "All I want to do is get back to my cage. I don't think I'll ever leave it again." "Why?" "The world is too big for me. It's wonderful, but very frightening." "What about you?" Blinker asked. "If you don't live in this town, why are you here?" "Dude," Ragweed replied, "my life couldn't be more difficult than yours." He told Blinker how he came to be in Amberville. "But the way you talk," Blinker said, "it's different." Ragweed, delighted Blinker had noticed, grinned. "That's the way city mice talk, dude," he said proudly. Blinker sighed. "You and I have led such dissimilar lives," he said. "For example, you have a family. I have no memory of my parents or brothers or sisters. The girl in my nest told me I was bred in a mouse factory. Your nest by that brook sounds so wonderful, so serene. It's okay, but way Dullsville, if you know what I'm saying. Nothing ever happens there, compared to all this anyway. Oh, Blinker cried from the heart, if I had a home like that, I believe I should never leave it. And yet, he added sadly, though we have led such different lives, here we are in the same predicament. Do you think we'll have to spend the rest of our lives here? Hey, no way, dude, Ragweed assured him. In fact, I'll go check on Silversides. Like, maybe she's gone. Once more, Ragweed worked his way up through the pile. When he reached the top, he carefully edged aside some moldy newspaper and spied out. Silversides was in the same spot she had been before, but she was no longer alone. Next to her was Graybar. That's the end of chapter 14. Tomorrow we will read chapter 15, and it's called Trapped in the Garbage Pile. So we'll continue reading Ragweed so we can get through the whole book. And if we're still out of school when Ragweed is over, we'll choose a new read aloud. And sometimes I might throw in just a picture book read aloud or something like that. So I hope everyone is staying healthy. And if you miss me too much, you can FaceTime me. Your parents have directions. If you, hold on, Violet. If you need any help with your at-home learning, your parents can email me. But I'll be thinking of you guys, and I miss you. Have a good Monday. Wait, I'll turn it off. Bye. Say bye, Violet.
Bye.